Imagine you want to buy a $30,000 car today, but your bank account only holds $1,000. To solve that problem, we have to look at physical money. Humans invented cash so we wouldn't have to wander around trying to trade a basket of chickens for a new pair of shoes. But physical cash has a clear boundary. You can only spend the exact amount of value you hold in your hand at this specific second. If our society operated only on the cash people currently held, nobody could buy a house, businesses couldn't build new factories, and economic progress would effectively stop. That brings us to credit. Think of credit as an economic time machine, a tool designed to bypass the physical limits of cash. When you use credit, you enter an agreement that creates new purchasing power. It lets you reach into the future, grab income you haven't earned yet, and spend it today. But every time someone uses this time machine, something else is created at the exact same moment: debt. Debt is the tether. It is the obligation that ensures your future self eventually wakes up and pays the bill for whatever your present self decided to buy. Modern economies run on the constant interaction between these three forces. Money handles the now, credit provides future power, and debt manages the future obligation. To power this time machine, you need two groups of people. You need savers, who have cash today that they want to store for later, and you need borrowers, who want that cash right now. To introduce them, we use a matchmaker, a commercial bank. The bank sits between everyday citizens saving money and people looking to borrow it. Watch banks multiply money. A saver deposits $100. The bank keeps 10 in reserve, lending 90. That 90 is spent, then deposited into a second bank, which lends 81. This repeating chain creates hundreds of dollars of purchasing power, dwarfing the original cash. Banks act as engines for the economy. They multiply our ability to trade and build by generating new credit out of thin air. Since banks are handing out all this future purchasing power, the responsibility shifts to the borrower. This time machine is dangerous if used incorrectly. Take bad debt, for example. If you borrow money to buy a new television, you get electronics that lose value every day. Staring at a screen generates no new income for your household. That choice leaves your future self poorer. You have to pay off a past obligation without any new money coming in to help you do it. Now look at good debt. Imagine a baker who borrows money to buy a large commercial oven. That is a productive investment. Because of that new oven, the baker can sell 3 times as much bread. The extra bread generates new, ongoing income that pays off the loan and leaves the baker with more money than they started with. Debt is sustainable when the borrowed money is used to generate income faster than the interest on the loan grows. So, what happens when millions of people pull money from the future at the same time? When society uses credit productively, businesses expand, employment rises, and the entire economy experiences a boom. But if total credit expands faster than actual economic income, if society binges on bad debt, the entire system becomes unstable. Look at this 100% financing banner. Leading up to the 2008 financial crisis, banks extended massive consumer debt to people who used it to buy homes they couldn't afford. The debt grew faster than their incomes, and the time machine broke. Too much credit also causes inflation. When the financial system creates too much future money, it starts chasing a limited supply of today's goods. With so much extra money fighting over the same items, prices are forced upward. This balancing act is the main job of a central bank. They have to keep credit available enough to grow the economy, but restricted enough to prevent high inflation or financial crashes. The economy isn't a vault of physical cash. It is a circulatory system where savers store value and borrowers pull from the future to build the world of today. These forces create repeating patterns of growth and recession. To see how these patterns play out, watch our next video on the short-term debt